Welcome back, Kevin here, and let's get things set up. So, first things first, download WordPress. Then after that, you'll need to download TypeRocket Pro, and inside the TypeRocket documentation for version 5, you can find everything that you need in order to do that and get TypeRocket activated. Then, after you're done installing TypeRocket as a plugin, then we will download this starter theme for TypeRocket, and you can get that at TypeRocket's GitHub account/theme. From here, we will jump over to the code, and let's see what we have set up here already. So I have TypeRocket downloaded. I have the starter skeleton theme downloaded. And then the next step that we have to take once we have all of this in place is go into our TypeRocket Pro folder, TypeRocket, and grab the app, config, resources, routes, and storage folders. These are what TypeRocket calls the override folders. And we're just going to copy these and paste them into our theme. So I'm going to take that. And note that we have some folders and files inside of this resources folder. So when you paste, if it overrides those, you get fresh copies of those files that are included in the theme. So we'll hit OK here. And then it's going to download my app and resources here. When I pasted my resources, it merged the views folder from that particular folder within the TypeRocket Pro plugin with the extension folder here. So that's what's new. Everything else should stay the same. And now we have our override folders in place. With this here, then we'll be able to go in and grab the Galaxy command. And we'll need this to run the different commands to create our models, migrations, controllers, and policies. So again, from the TypeRocket Pro folder under TypeRocket, get this Galaxy command, copy that, and just paste it into the root of your WordPress site here. And so it should follow alongside like your index, license, WP activate, WP config file, for example. And then from here, we need to create one more file, and we're going to call this galaxy-config.php, and that'll be handled by this. So I'll hit OK. And then inside of here, we need to add some configuration. And the reason for this is by default, Galaxy doesn't really know where your WordPress or TypeRocket is. It just assumes that it's inside. The Galaxy command here assumes that it's inside of this TypeRocket folder. So we need to tell the Galaxy CLI tool that it is not inside of this folder, that we've moved it, and that's what our config file can do for us. So we'll jump back to the browser, go to our plugin install, and this section down here is the Galaxy CLI setup. And we'll need to copy this configuration. And the tutorial basically assumes that your configuration is following this pattern where we're moving Galaxy to the root of WordPress. So go into the Galaxy config here and paste our code. And then we need to make sure, essentially, a few things are correct. We need to make sure that this path to TypeRocket is correct. And for your setup, make sure that it follows the correct path. So here we have WP content from the current directory. So I'm in this current directory. It goes WP content, then to plugins, then to TypeRocket Pro, and then to that TypeRocket folder. And then that TypeRocket folder houses our original Galaxy command. So that's how we're kind of getting this Galaxy to assume that it's where this Galaxy is. And then the next piece is to tell it where we put our override folders. Now we put our override folders inside of this main theme where we have app, config, resources, routes, and storage. And so we want to make sure that that points to our theme in the same way that we pointed to TypeRocket, except this theme is not my theme, it's theme main. So we'll change this. And then we have TypeRocket set to the Galaxy path. The core config will be this main theme section and this config file here, or config folder. And then the root of WordPress is where Galaxy itself lives, because this is the root of WordPress. So that main directory works just fine for this. And then our alternate app path is this theme, as well as our alt root path and then our alt path are both the same. So here we have the main theme as the place of origin for both the TypeRocket app root path and the alt path. And this should get us set up and moving forward quite nicely. You may need to tweak things a little bit for your particular setup. However, that is all you need to know to get set up with TypeRocket and get moving along.